Let me see if I can move this. AAC football, DGM on the under 65. Dude, I can't even watch the fucking game right now. It's ridiculous. So what I did was I got a smart TV. It cost me like $120. It's a fucking 24-inch smart TV. It's supposed to be, 1080p, whatever. It was working great a few days ago. I hook it up right now. My DirecTV, it says you moved the DirecTV box too far. That's what it's been telling me. Thing's a fucking POS. But that's a smart bet. I like the under in this game a lot. It's one of those games where it gets moved, and you always, whenever a game gets moved, there's going to be nobody there. You got to like the under. So I agree with you on the under. But yeah, this game is crap. I can't even watch it right now. So this is the made-up game. And we've got Tanner Mordecai. He's from Oklahoma, this kid. He was on Oklahoma. Yeah, he's been there for 2 years now. Oh, he threw 39 touchdown passes last year. Guys, if you do have any questions, well, I'm just going to wait, I guess. But if anyone has any questions about the current games or anything like that, anyone's best bets, things like that, let me know what it is. I found this little, what is this, 538 playoff odds, which is pretty funny. And the context of this is bullshit. I mean, there's, you're telling me 59% chance to make the playoffs. I mean, what does that even mean? There's nothing to quantify that with. But these are 538's analytical data. They have their own ELO rating, which has USC at 32. Their own ELO system. Which I don't know how USC is number 32, but these are interesting ratings. You can kind of mess around with it, have teams winning, losing, things like that. But, I mean, I don't understand, this. I just can't put much stock into, Ohio State having a 52% chance to make the playoff. I don't know. What's the scale of that? I don't know what that is. And then I did want to show this off. So it is crazy how Northwestern is the school that is getting a new stadium, which trust Chip Kelly. Grub, I've got a question for you. Are you going to be able to moderate my live stream on Saturday afternoon? Because if not, we might have to find another moderator. We're going to have to let more people filter in. Once we get more people, maybe we can find another moderator. Just in case you're not here, I'm not going to be able to moderate it when I'm live streaming. But yes, trust Chip Kelly, but not this week. But that was epic when I got that right. Guys, honestly, the whole Chip Kelly thing, basically I started trolling people. Chip Kelly's not a very good coach, whatever. I was just like, oh, trust Chip Kelly, trust UCLA, and then they ended up winning. So it made me look good. But, I mean, it was just a troll. But yeah, I was looking at this Northwestern stadium. It's so impressive what they're doing. It's like a mini version of Baylor. That's what Northwestern Stadium is. And when you look at it, Baylor's new stadium, this is like a mini version. I think Baylor seats like 50,000. This is 35,000. And this would honestly, I mean, if you get a new stadium like this with good crowd noise and it's all purple and it's brand new, that'll improve your program overnight. Look at the disaster that is Miami football right now. Look at Pittsburgh football. Those, I mean, in the NFL stadiums, it's horrible. Now, Northwestern plays in a shithole. It's not an NFL stadium. It's actually worse than an NFL stadium. It is, Ryan Field, whatever. The place is a shithole. So that is nice that they're getting a new stadium. I won't be available to mod until Saturday at 5 o'clock. Yeah, we might need another mod. We might have to find someone. Because I know there's a few other people that joined the chat at some point. But we got to find someone trustworthy. Because I'm not going to be able to moderate it myself. And we get inundated with bots and shit like that. We're not going to be able to handle it. I think the only reason we ran into the major bot problem on Monday was because I put in the title Monday Night Football. And there was a bunch of NFL bots that came and spammed it. That's what I think was the major issue. But then we had the Hitler person that just spammed Hitler in the chat about 300 times with a swastika. But yeah, guys, I mean, what is this game right now? What is this? This game's not even updated. I don't know what that was. So yeah, I mean, I would say the under's looking really good for this game right now. I mean, it's 10-3, mid-second. I can't even watch the damn thing. This fucking thing is I pay $120 for a smart TV, and it's giving me advertisements for Thursday Night Football. And Jonathan Taylor's not playing. I'm in on the Broncos winning that game. Jonathan Taylor's not playing. My Wolverines are going back to the college football playoff. Are you a Broncos fan, though? I like the Broncos on Thursday. I like the Broncos to win. As for Michigan, it would be shocking. Sir, it would be shocking if Michigan made the playoffs. Ryan Day is not losing to Michigan at home. And now they want me to go to Netflix. Guys, I was watching something on Netflix. It's a movie. I think it's called Never Seen Again or something like that. It's basically a total knockoff version of Prisoners. Prisoners is one of the most underrated movies with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. And this movie's a complete knockoff of it. I was watching that. And it's like, oh, the wife gets abducted. You know, I don't know if anyone's seen that, but that's what I was watching. And now I've got this smart TV. I can't even watch cable. My cable box won't connect. So it is what it is. We're just going to look on here and see what we can find. Some different headlines. I don't know. I thought there was... Oh, how about this? They're saying Jimbo Fisher is on the hot seat. Dude, Jimbo Fisher... Texas A&M sold their soul to Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher's not going anywhere, man. They run that whole fucking Ponzi scheme. They're not going to fire Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher is Texas A&M. It doesn't matter that they run a prehistoric offense. The reason they're getting all those kids is through the culture. It's through the NIL bullshit, cheating, all of that shit. I called it out because it was happening and they all got mad at me. All right, let's see this. Ohio State leapfrogs Georgia for number 1 overall in CBS's poll. Do I have a window open or something, man? We got a freaking fly in here. It's one of those little ass flies. Predicting every unbeaten college football team's first loss. Now, we're going to look at their rankings. We'll look at their rankings. That's what we'll do. I'm not going to do this. It's not going to happen. I'll fix it next time. No, I won't. Ohio State, number 1. Absolutely agree. No Trevion Henderson. Trevion Henderson, guys, is back. And the Ohio State line, it's getting crazy right now. What is the line right now? -27? I think that's what the line is. So they've got Ohio State at number 1. Bama at 2. Georgia at 3. That's not surprising. Michigan at 4. Clemson at 5. I would have Clemson. I'm going to try and kill this. And it just flew away. Clemson at 5. USC at 6. I think USC is going to lose for sure. Well, I don't know. Maybe to Utah. They're definitely going to lose to someone they shouldn't. USC will. They're not proving enough to me. Oklahoma State at 7, I guess. Tennessee at 8. Ole Miss at 9. What does this LW13 mean? Oh, last ranked or something. Penn State at number 10. Utah, TCU. So they were 35th? Jesus Christ. All right, so I think the big games that we can talk about right now, that's whatever. Let's just go to the ranked games. Oh, it's 2nd and goal. I still think even if they score a touchdown here, if the over-under was 66, I think the under looks really good. But I said I wasn't touching that game. I'm not touching it. What's up, man? Hey, yeah, I've been live a few times now, man. I go live. I'm going to be live probably most nights. And then on Saturday at 3 o'clock, we're going to be covering the 3 o'clock college football window. So hopefully I'll have my TV set up. Everything will be set up. We'll be able to do it. on Saturday at 3, and I will be able to look through all the 3:30 games, the 4 o'clock games. It's going to be crazy, and have a TV right next to me. Of course, it's not working right now. It's whatever. We're going to figure it out. But let's see if any of these lines have moved. No. Kansas is getting some money. So the TCU line is down to 6.5. Jesus Christ, is there an injury? Oh, this is not good news for me. Guys, is there an injury for Arkansas? How is that line 9.5? It was 6 when it opened. Cincinnati 27.5. Georgia 30. So it's moving in Georgia's favor. That line stays the same. Utah minus 3.5. Ohio State, it's moving positive for Ohio State with the Trevion Henderson news. Ole Miss is down to minus 17. I like that. Washington is still at minus 14. I think there's great value on Arizona State plus the 14. Clemson still minus 20. USC, I think that's the same. Kentucky at 10. It was 10.5. Wake Forest stays at 17. Notre Dame at 3.5. Kansas State at 2. Guys, the models just hate BYU. The models think that BYU is severely overranked. What's up, man? Not touching it with a... That is what I say, yes. But the A&M, Alabama, Texas A&M minus 20... Or Alabama minus 24. Who knows? I mean, Bryce Young, I think it's a... Guys, I think the Bryce Young injury is pain management. So I'm guessing he'll play. It's just he's got to manage the pain. They'll probably give him a bunch of shit to manage it. They'll give him a bunch of shots or something. NC State, I think NC State covers. Oregon, Arizona, Oregon probably covers in that one. I like Washington State plus 13. Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, USC is really streaky. They are at home. You know, Washington State, I'd have to look up at the models on that. And let me just look at a few projections on that game and see. But they do update these models and they change them. Now they have this score at 38 to... No, that's not live. Did anyone score in that UCF game? They were in the red zone. 3rd and goal at the... Okay, they did score. So it's 10-10. Who knows what the final score of that game is going to be. Let me look up that Washington State game. I'll look up that Washington State game. That game's at 7 o'clock or 7:30 or 8 or some bullshit. Yeah, no, I mean, they like USC. I mean, I wouldn't take a ton of stock into this. You would have to look up a lot. I would have to look up a lot of different ratings. But I think USC is a team that can put up a ton of points. Personally, I'm staying away from the game. Washington State could easily, I believe, be undefeated. Washington State, had that horrible set. You want to take a look at a horrible game? You go to that Washington State game, and I'll do it right now. I mean, what was their win probability against? What happened in this game? I don't understand. It was 44-21. 41-22 with 4 minutes left? I didn't realize it was that bad. How is that possible? Guys, if Washington State could have won this game, we would not have to deal with the situation currently we're dealing with Georgia, where there's somehow... Georgia remains, a top 2 team because of their Oregon win. Well, if Oregon would have lost this game, which they should have, I mean, how do you lose a game with a 99.8% chance to win? With 4 minutes left, you're up by 3 scores. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. Kuiper and McShay. Aren't those guys washed? Kuiper and McShay? Who gives a shit about those guys? But yeah, guys, I think this Northwestern Stadium looks really nice. This is what Miami needs to be banging on the doors to get funding. Their program will never be anything when you're playing at an NFL stadium. You're never going to be anything. You're never going to do anything at an NFL stadium. These ratings, whatever. I don't know what to go. Massey ratings. look at the political odds. Guys, there's some fucking wackos. I was looking at these odds. You should see the dude in Pennsylvania. Who is this pedophile? Dr. Oz is going to lose to him. That's who the Republicans got to put up, Dr. Oz. Ohio, J.D. Vance. No, Ohio's a Republican state for sure. Marco Rubio, projected to win. I don't know. I just thought that was funny, but Notre Dame is a good team. Remember when McShay went on air drunk? I don't know what happened to McShay, man. McShay, I think he gained about 70 pounds in face fat or something. Maybe he's lost it. I don't know, but I saw McShay and they were like, oh, he's got COVID or something. It was so weird. Not related to college football talk, but there were some news about Tua and the Dolphins saying he got permanent brain damage, IDK if it's real, but some NFL... What NFL channels? What NFL channels have posted that? Any legitimate ones? Dude, the whole Tua situation, even if Tua got cleared, the Miami Dolphins are seriously going to have to sit Tua out for at least 2 weeks due to public outcry with concussions. And the NFL is going to tell the Dolphins, listen, I don't care if Tua is cleared. You're not playing him because it's a horrible look for us. So Tua will not be playing. Who has a better chance, Herschel Walker or Dr. Oz? Herschel Walker is like 50-50 right now. They're trying to get Herschel across the finish line. Did you see he's trying to avoid debating the Democrat? Oh, man. James Madison will... Dude, people have been asking me about that James Madison game. I'm staying away from it. Arkansas State at home. Listen, I watched Arkansas State against Ohio State. They're a good team. They're not bad. So I'm staying away from it. You could say that, James Madison is on a warpath right now, but I would stay away from it. I didn't think Tua would ever play again. Yeah, I don't know, I saw a lot of people that said that. I don't agree with that. I know he got a concussion, but it did seem like a slight overreaction by social media, kind of a herd mentality, where it was just like, oh my God, his career's over. Like, I don't know, just kind of a weird moment. But I understand, concussions are very serious, obviously, and it's not a good position for the NFL to be in. But I would actually like to look at... I don't know where you can find like college injury updates. Honestly, you probably can't find them anywhere because they don't post them. Here we go. Covers.com. See, this is not what I want. This is not going to tell me a damn thing. I need minute-to-minute updates on the key players. Bryce Young. This doesn't tell me anything. Oh, it says he's questionable. Yeah, they're not going to say if he's going to play or not. Yeah, I don't. This is not what I wanted. There's a thing to look at, and I don't think it's active anymore. What was the one site that I was on yesterday? It's like Sports Edge or some I think it's Sports Edge. But they don't have news for college football anymore. I think they got pissed off. Yeah, they took it away. I'm not supporting that. They just have NFL news and MLB and NBA and freaking golf. But they took away their college football news. They have college football home. Do you have any news? No, they don't have any news on college football. What do you think about Auburn plus 30? Auburn plus 30 is phenomenal value according to the models. But I would say that you have to understand, Georgia is a team they haven't covered in their last 2 games. They're going to come out at home against a young quarterback and really try and run it up. They're going to try and run it up. Louisiana Tech, money line, easily. Louisiana Tech, again, is that the UTEP game? If I love Louisiana Tech against UTEP, that's a parody game. Notre Dame always overrated with Vegas. No, that's not what that situation is. That's not what that situation is at all. It's BYU is actually overrated by the general public and by the AP poll. BYU has not performed well against Oregon, against Wyoming, and against Utah State. Guys, BYU, unfortunately, is overrated. And I love BYU because I said go in on BYU. You know, BYU -3 I had against Baylor in week 2, and they won for me, and I appreciate them for that. But normally what I'll just do now is, I mean, this game is just a total joke. I don't understand. But we got to move on. But the weird thing about that was they almost ended up not covering because they ended up going down by 10 points in the span of a minute, like 4 minutes. It was a 30-point swing. But yeah, so Indiana, I wonder, could Indiana make a bowl game? Can Indiana possibly make a bowl game at 3-2? I would say no. I would say Indiana's not making a bowl game. Michigan's a loss. Maryland's a loss. At Rutgers is a toss-up. Penn State's a loss. Ohio State's a loss. Michigan State probably a loss. Purdue probably a loss. So, I mean, they basically have all their tough games. They did beat Western Kentucky. And they have that transfer quarterback, I think, from Mizzou. What about East Carolina with the upset? I've really struggled with East Carolina this year, I think. East Carolina, yeah, I don't think I'll have to look up their game right now. 13-10. So there is a little bit of scoring here. I would still, let me see the live bet on that. I'll look at the live bet over-under for it. It's probably going to be it's at 60.5. So, you know, if you have the under, you're looking pretty good. I think the over-under was 63.5, but it's iffy. We'll see. There's an MLB game going on. Guys, go bet on the MLB wild card games. Texas -7 lock. No. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Oklahoma plus the 7. I'll take Oklahoma plus the 7. Cincy -27. You know, a lot of books agree. South Florida is horrible. Cincy -27 is definitely a possibility for people. Yes. Cincy -27, you know, I've seen projections that Cincy's going to win by 40. I think the only issue is it's a big number for a team with, they're not a high-powered offense. They do have a decent quarterback who's got experience. Guys, have you seen Cincinnati's quarterback? He was at Cincinnati. He played at Cincinnati. He transferred, played somewhere else, came back to Cincinnati, and now he's their starting quarterback. I haven't seen, I didn't know that was allowed. If you look up Cincinnati, I got to kill this fly. Where is, I'll try, there we go. Ben Bryant. Look at this. This is Cincinnati, Eastern Michigan. He starts there and then transfers back to Cincinnati. TCU -6.5 is a great bet. Kansas is overrated. Yeah, I mean, it very well could be. It very well could be. We'll have to see. What do you think about the Utah game? I think Utah is going to win that game. I think Utah will beat UCLA. That's a parody game. I'm a little concerned, you know, with the injury Utah suffered with their tight end. He's a really good tight end, apparently. I mean, I should know this, but, you know, it is what it is. But no, I do like Utah to win that game. I've got them winning 37-30. And it's a situation where UCLA, they've got no business being undefeated. I mean, they had such a pathetic non-conference schedule. I know I said that, you know, it was a juggernaut. I'm just trolling. Obviously, it's a horrible non-conference schedule. Although I will say South Alabama is better than people think. South Alabama's like the 67th best team according to FBI. So they're like a mid-FBS team. But yeah, I mean, you look at this game, it's -3.5. 69% chance. What is your lock for this weekend? Who is the... My lock, I think that Georgia State under 68. I wonder what that line is right now. The Georgia State, Georgia Southern under. The Buffalo Bowling... I think it's Buffalo -2 now at Bowling Green. Isn't? I can just go to my... Oh, I can't go... something happened to where... my Google Chrome just freaking collapsed or something and it shut down. Can I? Okay, here we go. I can go to it. Let me make sure it loads. I don't want to show some weird crap. I'll go to my bets. Oh, and look at my prediction. This is what I'm talking about, guys. It's right there. It's in your face. And I underestimated Chip Kelly. I underestimated him. But the bets would be... Dude, I can't even... Here they are. I would say the best bet here... I don't know how Arkansas is plus 9.5. I'm pissed. I mean, Buffalo is not... Buffalo is actually the favorite in this game. That line is shifted. I like Ohio minus the 11, but that line has moved. This is probably the bet to make. The under in this game. Georgia State, Georgia Southern. I just don't think that LSU has the offense to keep up with Tennessee. 35-17 Tennessee. Dude, I love Tennessee. Just this week, I mean, I'm not going to bet that game, or I'm not telling people to do anything. I think it's going to be the game of the week. It's going to be a really good game for a noon game. But yeah, I just can't see Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels to me is a fraudulent quarterback. I watched Jaden Daniels for an entire half, and I'm like, the dude's just not that good. He's just not that good. I'm sorry. I watched it, and I'm like, I have to say he's not that good. What do you know? Luke Fickell was a state champion, right? Luke Fickell is an amazing head football coach. Luke Fickell is going to coach Ohio State when Ryan Day goes to the NFL. Who is the better back, Corum or Mayan? I would say Corum. I mean, they're so different, man. They're so different backs. BYU versus Utah. Is that did that game already happen? TCU, good, but last week was an anomaly. I can't even pronounce the words. But now the thing with TCU, I'll say, let's not overreact, right? But they're in a situation where they should beat Kansas, right? Even though they're on the road with College Game Day. I don't think TCU's this juggernaut. I think it was a home game where everything went right for them. And they do have a senior quarterback who right now has like the #1 passer rating. If you guys look at this, I was looking at this, and you can go to the actual stats and the leaders, the quarterback leaders, the complete leaders, like rating. Look at this. He's ahead of C.J. Stroud. He's first. You guys can't see it because it's over. 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. Grayson McCall is always at the top. How old is Grayson McCall? This dude's been in college for 7 years. Remember when... Who remembers when Coastal Carolina during the pandemic year, they were trying to play somebody or something, or they backed out of the game or something? Was it BYU? Or BYU backed out of the game. They were trying to like, oh, we're undefeated. And it's during the pandemic. It's whatever. Use Firefox. I'd rather not. I prefer Chrome. It went down to 66.5. That Georgia Southern game went down to 66. That doesn't surprise me. USC minus 13. I literally just had someone a little bit ago say Washington State plus 13. So that's funny. When do you think JSN comes back? They're going to give him, I would say right now, dude, I would like to get him back before the Penn State game. I really would. Do you want him to come back? I mean, technically it doesn't matter because we know JSN and Stroud, they've got the connection and everything. We saw it last year. But I would say if they're really trying to be cautious, you're not playing him when you're 28-point favorites against, Michigan State. You're not playing him at home against Iowa, where Iowa can't even score a field goal. So it's like they're gonna rest him and it's an injury where you have to be very careful about re-injuring it. He already re-injured it once against Toledo. So now it's almost like they're gun shy to bring him back. And it's like now I feel like they are gonna wait for the Penn State game. But I do think he will be back. Day said JSN is itching to play again. Well, that's just coach talk. I wouldn't say anything about that, man. I don't know. Day says a lot of crap that just doesn't mean anything. Which Ohio State defensive lineman has the most sacks at the end of the season? Dude, I don't know. None of them can get sacks right now. They're getting pressures, but none of them are getting sacks. I'll say Jack Sawyer. I don't know. I love JTT, though. I do. BYU played Coastal Carolina because someone pulled it. Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, they like played them on one day's notice or something. Definitely strange times during the pandemic, certainly. And then that game did get played. BYU and then Coastal Carolina won. UAB -9. I think UAB's due to cover. I like UAB -9. BYU Coastal game was nuts. Yeah, it was. I say this because I've been watching both teams this year. The whole reason that Tennessee secondary looked so bad was they played prevent defense versus Florida. Yeah, no, I think Tennessee controlled that game against Florida. Listen, the final score was 38-33, but Tennessee controlled that game. And if you're a Tennessee fan, you've got the biggest opportunity possibly since your national championship. I mean, you've got Alabama, you've got Georgia, Alabama at home with possibly an injured Bryce Young, and it's a 3:30 CBS game. Oh, that's going to be huge. That is going to be huge. That's going to be a great game to watch. Tennessee's front seven is actually good. Anthony Richardson is so inconsistent, man. He really is. What is the difference between rating and QBR? The QBR is, it's something that ESPN does where I believe they calculate, it might be both rushing and passer and stuff like that. It's a bunch of crap. The rating is something that you can calculate through yards, attempts, touchdowns, interceptions. It's like a specific stat that can be calculated that we all know. I believe QBR is some type of formula that they make. So it's harder to gauge. Like some quarterback could throw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, but his QBR might not be as high as you would think it would be. But of course, his rating would be really high. It's a weird, difference. But rushing leaders, Chase Brown, the Illinois kid, #1 in rushing right now. Absolutely. There's Blake Corum, 6.6 yards per carry. That's better than all these guys. 7.4. Oh, this kid from California. This kid had one of those crazy PFF grades. You guys know PFF grades players. This freshman, he had a grade of like a 99.7 or something. It was amazing. Who's leading running back in touchdowns? I'm going to it right now. It's Corum. Malik Cunningham. Look at this. 2 QBs, 2 quarterbacks are second and third. Malik Cunningham, guys, let me just say this. If Malik Cunningham was on Ohio State and the quarterback for Ohio State, would he be leading the Heisman race right now? I mean, let's be honest. Like, I'm not saying Malik Cunningham's like this mega star, but, yeah, there you go. And thank you, Grub. That's Chat 69. Unbelievable. Tennessee this year is looking like Oklahoma 2000. Look up the comparison, Oklahoma and Tennessee for second year. I'm interested to see how Tennessee does this year. They have everything in front of them, and they have such a situation where Bryce Young might be hurt, and, Georgia's a fraud team. Guys, if anyone is still rating, I saw somebody who rated Georgia #1. Oh, you know what I can look up, guys? I might make this a video. I might make Mayan 7.8 yards per carry. That is impressive. 7.8. Yeah. He has to share with Trevion, obviously, so he's not going to get the yards. But I can look up the bowl predictions. Maybe I'll do a video on this. Maybe next week. But yeah, let's look up the bowl predictions and we can take a look at some of these matchups and see. These are the live bowl predictions. Are these the updated ones? These are updated. Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama. People are going to be pissed at that. Oh my God. That is, and then Michigan at 5, Oklahoma State at 6. Rose Bowl. I think the Rose Bowl right now is definitely going to be Michigan, Utah. I mean, maybe USC, but probably Utah, Michigan, Oregon versus frickin' Coastal Carolina. Nothing like that. No. Tennessee versus Oklahoma State. I would take Tennessee. NC State versus Penn State. I'll take Penn State in that matchup. So it's in, oh my God, dude. Why do they always have to play in Atlanta? Every year, either one of the semifinal games or the national championship is in Atlanta. Every year. I swear to God. Except last year, the national title was in Indianapolis, and it's 2 SEC teams coming up to Indianapolis, which is just amazing. Do you know Mayan averaged 7.1 last year? Yeah, I mean, the Ohio State running backs are going to average a lot, They're going to average it because, with the passing game and everything, the defenses have to key on that and stuff like that. Ohio State versus Alabama went 2014. That was a great game, man. That was Cardale Jones, the third stringer. Minnesota Ole Miss. I mean, Minnesota's got to win games, man. Minnesota had a horrible loss. Wake Forest, Kentucky. I'll pass on that one. Oh, my goodness. What even is this bowl? January 2nd? Wait a minute. Oh, I like when all the bowls are on January 1st, but I guess this year they're January 2nd. Music City Bowl, Maryland, Arkansas. I mean, I'd probably take Maryland, honestly. I like Maryland. San Jose State, Toledo. Toledo is good. Toledo is a good team. They're possibly the best team in the MAC. You know what we can look at? We can look at the leaders if you look at the FPI by conferences. And we'll just look at the leaders on that and see. So the ACC, I mean, dude, look at the FPI on the ACC. This is crazy. They have one team in the top 24. They hate the ACC. Oh my goodness. NC State is 25th. FSU is 22nd. It's 27th. Wake Forest is, I think NC State should be higher. The American is really weak this year. I mean, we'll see with this UCF SMU game. Tulane is actually good this year. That's good for them. Man, Temple is so bad. I think Temple football is unsavable. I was just thinking about this earlier. I don't think you can save Temple football. I was talking to a Temple fan, and he was explaining to me they physically can't build a new stadium because they have no room on their campus. They would have to knock down classrooms. That's what he was saying, to build a new stadium. And I'm like, oh my God, it's not savable. Temple football, they play at the Philadelphia Eagles Stadium. It is unsavable. Big Ten, you've got Ohio State, Michigan. I think Penn State's probably top 10. Minnesota's probably lower than 14. I like Maryland at 21. Maybe that's a little high. And then they still have Michigan State at 32. That's going to get corrected. Michigan State's going to fall down a lot this week. Illinois, I mean, look at how bad the West is. Look at these teams. East, 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 West, East, West, East, West, 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 and then East, East, West. Now, I guess it's not that horrible. It's just the top three teams it makes it so top heavy. The Big 12 is crazy. The Big 12 is crazy. Rose Bowl not being on New Year's Day is great. It is, man. Absolutely. Do you think Stroud's stats against Rutgers a bit concerning? I would say it's annoying. It looked like they didn't want to play. They're just not. They're just going through the motions. When you're 40-point favorites at home, it's just tough, man. I mean, it looked like they were miserable out there. Which, I mean, they're young kids. They're 40-point favorites. You're facing Rutgers. The Rutgers they don't even have a quarterback. You're facing a high school team, man. Like, people don't realize how bad Rutgers is. But I don't think, the only thing that's annoying is it just hurts his Heisman chances. That's it. So the NFL games will be on New Year's Day. Oh, it's a Sunday. Yeah, they're not going to compete. They're not going to do that. Yeah, they can't do that. They can't put the Rose Bowl on with the NFL. Is that week 17 for the NFL? Week 17. Quit hating on the Ducks. Man, I really have nothing against Oregon at all. I just think it's a situation where Oregon is being used by Georgia right now, and it's disgusting. It really is. But the Big 12 conference, it's a total gauntlet right now. I mean, look at this. 6, 13, 15, 16, 19, 26, 30, 45. The lowest rated team is 5-0. That is pretty remarkable. I think West Virginia is probably the worst team in this conference. Conference USA, Western Kentucky, UAB. So UAB must have lost last week. Jesus. UTSA. Yeah, Western Kentucky is a decent team. Louisiana Tech is better than UTEP for sure. I want to see this game, what the FPI says in this game. And there it is right there. It's great value. Louisiana Tech minus the 3 against an overrated UTEP team who sucks at offense. And they're going to have a bad offensive performance. I'll tell you that right now. I think Washington State upsets USC. You know, USC is gonna lose one of these games. They're going to lose one of these games for sure. What is this? I mean, we're just trying to see now this. It's just whatever. They ruined it. All right, let's see this. This is 13-10. So, yeah, the under looks very good in this game for sure. 13-10 right now. I have no clue who's going to win, but I can say that, you know, the under 65 or whatever. Go Utah Tech. It seems made up. Utah Tech, I think, is made up. I don't know why they would name themselves that. It's like a made-up computer-generated name. It's crazy. Oregon lost their head coach. You'd expect some drop-off. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Mario Cristobal looks really bad right now, but I'm not gonna overreact. We'll see how he responds out of the bye week. Nebraska Rutgers under 50. I think Nebraska minus 3 is the better value. But yes, if you made me pick, I'd say it goes under. Rutgers cannot throw the football, okay? But I do like Nebraska minus 3. I think people are overreacting on Alabama offense. No O-line. Yeah, I mean, to me, Alabama's offense, what they did against Arkansas, 3 runs of 70 yards in 1 quarter, that's not sustainable. That's not sustainable. So, like, we can say they're the number 1 team right now, but if Bryce Young is hurt and you have no receivers, you're screwed. Like, so I agree with you, yeah. I agree with you on that. The NFL. They're not gonna switch the NFL games, man. LSU to upset Tennessee? No. Nothing like that. No. Who do you have tonight? SMU or UCF? I don't know, man. I have no clue. I'm not gonna sit here. I mean, I would say maybe UCF because they're home. But I mean, the under looks like it's going to hit. That's the only thing I know. Maybe, I would say flip a coin. I told people to avoid this game. But, you know, it's whatever. You know, it's going to happen. People are going to do stuff. The under looks good right now. That's all we can say. But then again, there could be 30 points scored in the third quarter. I don't know. Can we bet the bye week money line over Colorado? You know, it's unfortunate what has happened to Colorado. They truly are... I mean, they're worse than, like, Ohio University. Here's an SEC championship game, Tennessee versus Ole Miss. Yeah, I highly doubt that, man. Tennessee versus Ole Miss. You know, Ole Miss, I was looking at Ole Miss's schedule. They could be undefeated. They face Vanderbilt. They face, I don't know who else they face. Thank you for hiding that. To my mod, Buffalo minus the 2. I love Buffalo. I love Buffalo to cover at Bowling Green. I'd actually be interested to see, and see, this thing is just completely glitched. I'd be interested to see the FPI on that game because I'm sure Buffalo is favored on the road. I think that's a 2 o'clock game. Oh, no, it's noon. So Buffalo is minus 2. The FPI says Buffalo 65%. Yeah, no, I like Buffalo. I mean, you take a look at what Buffalo's done this year. A lot of it is, I mean, Bowling Green is just terrible, but Buffalo, they crushed Eastern Michigan. They were competitive against Coastal Carolina on the road. The loss to Holy Cross, that's ugly. Kind of competitive against Maryland as well. So this Buffalo team is not bad. This is not a bad Buffalo team, guys. They're really not. They're going to crush Bowling Green. Or actually, Bowling Green can score. They just beat, I mean, Akron is so bad too. They did beat Marshall. That's a nice win. lost to Eastern Kentucky, get blown out by UCLA. So they actually probably are pretty good against the spread, but I think they're due for a loss. Who do you think is overrated this year, and who do you think is underrated? I would say, Georgia would be the team that I would think would be overrated because there's a lot of people that think they're the number one team right now. But other than that, I'd have to look at the overall thing. But Georgia would be my overrated team. And then, if I go to let me just go to the overall ratings and see. I still think Utah is a top 10 team, possibly a top 7 team. I've also thought for the longest time Kentucky is really overrated personally. I just don't think Kentucky's very good. I think you have to respect what Oklahoma State has done. I still don't love their talent, but I understand, them being inside the top 10. I think Ole Miss is overrated. I think BYU's overrated. So yeah, those would be the main ones. I think Cincinnati's a little underrated. But they do have that loss to Arkansas. So, and then, Washington State, it is crazy. Washington State is just one meltdown away from being ranked. Washington State's not, wow, I'm surprised they're that low. James Madison got 39 votes. That's disappointing. Why not just rank James Madison instead of LSU? I'm guessing because the LSU game is on ESPN networks against Tennessee, and they want a ranked matchup. Follow ESPN and what they say. Kansas pretenders? Certainly, man. Yes, Kansas, listen, I'm not going to rain on Kansas's parade because they've been one of the worst FBS teams. Look at Kansas's schedule. Kansas might seriously finish 6-6 this year, and that's nothing against Kansas. This is the Big 12. Look at this. Possible loss, possible loss, possible loss, possible loss, possible loss, possible loss, possible loss. It's just tough. They've had such a great season already. Possibly getting to a bowl game and having College game day. But yes, they are pretenders. Utah is legit. Absolutely, Utah is legit. I've been in on Utah, for a while. I had Utah making the playoffs, and obviously losing week 1 was tough. Losing their tight end was tough. I still remember when OU fans said that USC was going 5-7. Dude, they hate Lincoln Riley. Oh my God. Lincoln Riley is kind of a POS. He is, I'll be honest, but that whole situation is crazy. I can't believe that happened to Oklahoma football. Oklahoma football got embarrassed by a trendy dude who just, this offensive guru, and he just flees. And there go all your 5-star recruits. They had a crazy start to their 2023 class. All of them decommit. They had 3 5-stars decommit because Lincoln Riley left. Kansas is a good story, but there are tough games coming up. Yeah, they're going to start losing a lot, unfortunately. I don't trust USC. Neither do I. I think USC loses probably 2 games before the Pac-12 championship. Their year is next year, not this year. They're going to lose games this year. Big 12 is arguably the worst conference. Still no clear front runner. No, I think the Big 12 is better than the ACC and the Pac-12. The ACC doesn't have anyone, man. I was looking at it. Outside of Clemson, maybe NC State, maybe FSU. Dude, I don't know, man. I disagree. The Big 12, yes, the Big 12 doesn't have any great teams, but it's so deep. It is so deep. Utah versus UCLA thoughts. I think Utah wins 37-30. Utah. It's a parody game. I would be shocked if USC remains undefeated. I know they're at home. The Rose Bowl, we saw their big win last week. Let's not overreact to it, guys. Remember, that Washington team was supposed to be a good team because they beat Michigan State at home. We realize how bad Michigan State is. Maybe Washington is down a run. So let's not overreact to USC beating or UCLA beating Washington at home when it turns out Washington, they're not as good as we thought they were. So it's like a whole Bermuda Triangle. Big 12 is deep. Yeah, they're really deep. I don't know who Nebraska is going to get, man. That'll be an interesting hire. They need a savior, man. They're definitely going to go the safe route in terms of they're going to hire someone with a proven track record for sure. There's no way they're going to do any type of Urban Meyer, Deion. There's no way they're going to do that. They can't afford it. Do you recommend more straight bet or parlays? I'd say don't do the parlays, man. Don't do the parlays. That's if you are betting serious money, I would say I don't really know what's the best strategy to make money betting, man. I mean, they're trying to make the line so you lose. So it's just like the best thing to do is to have a legitimate way to make income, and then you bet for fun. It's like giving money to a stripper or something. It's something you do for fun. The problem is people try and make it their income, and then they take advice from me, and then they don't get it right. And it's like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. They want me to lose. So I would say probably if you say, okay, I have $1,000 to bet. Should I do 10 straight bets? Should I do one bet, the whole 10,000, the whole 1,000? Should I do a parlay? I don't know, dude. I have no clue. I would say there are value bets that you can make based off of all the analytics, based off of what you know. Like the over-unders, I think, are some of the easier bets to make than sometimes the line, in my opinion. But again, sometimes the line is easier. It just depends. But I feel like I have more success with over-unders. But maybe that's just what I think. Just don't bet at all. Well, I mean, I mean, you can certainly bet, but it's just not a legitimate way. It's a very hard way to earn a living. That's what I would say on that. But yeah, guys, I was talking about this at the beginning. These ELO ratings. They have USC at 32. Again, I don't know how you can even if you hate USC. How are they the 32nd best team? I don't know where that's calculated from. I would love to see the model that they get that from. But this is just an analytical comparison. Who makes the playoff? 59% chance Alabama, 52% chance Ohio State, whatever. These are some picks. Alabama scoring 37 points. I mean, I could see it. I think Saban is going to try and run it up a little bit on A&M. Coastal Carolina covering against UL Monroe. Oregon winning by 15. USC is like Ohio State last year. Offense can't keep... if offense can't score, they are done. Only hyped up because of all the transfers. Yeah, and they have a ridiculous turnover margin, man. They've got a crazy high turnover margin that's not sustainable. USC defense is so bad, but they somehow get turnovers, which I think a lot of it is luck. A lot of the turnovers are luck. That's exactly how I do it for fun. Throw $5 on a parlay. I won $450, lost $470. Makes every game a little more intense. Certainly, man. I mean, a lot of these games, dude, you'll flip your night like that by throwing money onto a game. It's just, yeah, you will. In terms of just entertaining yourself. I like San Diego State to cover against Hawaii. That's down to 21.5. So that was minus 20. There's a lot of money going in on San Diego State right now. And then they have Oregon State beating Stanford 39-28 in that one. So this will be a close game. Kansas State, Iowa State. Although it's a typical Big 12 game. They're always going to be like that. All of these Big 12 games. Illinois, Iowa, 20-16. It's gonna be 16-14. Illinois, Iowa. That'll be the final score of that game. UTEP, man, they have UTEP winning. I see. This is why I get a little weirded out with these models. There's no conceivable simulation that says that should say that, in my opinion. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing that, the over-under is 44 in that. Okay. Appalachian State over Texas State. James Madison, they've got by 11, so that's right on the line. Florida International beating UConn. I like UConn to win. Florida International is so bad. I like Western. There's another bet that I like. Western Kentucky plus 6.5 at UTSA. And yes, Nevada -3 is another good bet. It's based off of how bad Colorado is. Betting isn't about trying to win money. It's about trying to break even and not lose money. Yes, correct. Correct. USC has 19 sacks and 11 interceptions, but one thing I'll say is that our run defense is bad. Yeah, dude, and I'm very concerned that a lot of that turnover luck is going to go the opposite way for USC. You're not going to be able to maintain that turnover luck, in my opinion. Like, this is another game where is Ohio State scoring 41 points against Michigan State, who has one of the worst secondaries in college? I'll answer that question right now. No. Ohio State's scoring 50 points against Michigan State. Come on. This is going to be a good game. UNC versus Miami. Miami coming off a bye week. North Carolina surprising people. Drake May playing well. You know what? I wonder if Drake May, if you look at the mock drafts, I didn't really look at this. How about the NBA player? Victor Wembanyama something? Dude, this kid, oh my God. 7'2", 18. How old are these kids? It's crazy. No, this dude is crazy. Yeah, they're going to be tanking for him, I'll tell you that much. He's going to go number 1 to the Spurs maybe. And then you look at the NFL. Houston has the number 1 overall pick. CJ Stroud, the number 1. Actually, let's look at the big board. So they have, I agree with this. Will Anderson's probably the number 1 player. I'm a little concerned about Jalen Carter. I understand he was a 5-star, but he really hasn't produced a ton. I mean, there's JSN at number 5. Will Levis, Will Levis is not, I don't like him. He just can't throw. Miles Murphy, he's been a beast this year. Ringo, yeah, he's a 5-star. Paris Johnson Jr.'s been a beast. Keyshawn Booty, I'm out on. I don't know how he's number 12. I'm trying to see if there's any other. I mean, this is the problem with Ohio State. There's just no one else. Zach Harrison. It's been a tough career for Zach. Sean Tucker. Amazing to see Sean Tucker. Darwin Jones. Ranson. And there's some 5-stars down there too. Holy crap. What's up, bro? Andre Carter II. I heard about that. Yeah, he was getting some significant hype. Josh Downs. I love Josh Downs, but I highly doubt Josh Downs will go in the first round. He's too small for a receiver, in my opinion. And I also don't think he'll run fast enough. But he'll be one of those guys that goes in the second round, and people will be like, he'll have an amazing NFL career, and people will be like, how didn't he go in the first round? And then they'll be like, oh, his measurables. I think Anthony Richardson is probably going to be a top 10 pick. How about a Maryland offensive tackle in the first round? Eli Ricks? I thought Eli Ricks was benched. Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith has not done anything, man. He hasn't done anything. Does JSN go to the draft if he's not back by Penn State? I think they already would have announced that. You remember with Nick Bosa, they announced it pretty quickly after his core injury or whatever it was. By the way, guys, Nick Bosa is winning Defensive Player of the Year. That dude is crazy. Nick Bosa is ridiculous this year. I'd like to see Defensive Player of the Year odds right now. NFL. We'll look at this right now. I guess you have to search it. There it is. So let's see. This is updated odds. I think Nick Bosa should be first, but I think JSN will be back, man. I really do think JSN will be back. Because they are, in my opinion, they already would have announced it. Astros plus 175 to win the AL. Please no. Please no. But no, I think that's probably the best bet. I mean, the Yankees right now, they had a horrible August, not a great September. They're dealing with their bullpen's a mess. I would say, yeah, the Astros probably. But this, Micah Parsons is plus 175. Nick Bosa is plus 600. Rashawn Gary. I don't think Rashawn Gary's going to win it, but he's gotten off to a crazy start. Myles Garrett freaking injured himself in an accident. I don't think he's going to win it. I wanted my Raiders to get Bosa. Yeah, Bosa's a beast, man. He went second overall. Nick Bosa, it's surprising. Nick Bosa is better than Joey. He legitimately is better. Joey's good too. He's really good. But Nick Bosa, if you look at pressures, sacks, disruptions, double teams, I mean, Nick Bosa, at this point, it's clear he's better. It's crazy. The season Nick Bosa would have had for Ohio State, it would have been like Chase Young. It would have been like that. It would have been. Nick Bosa literally had 4 sacks in like 3 halves before he got injured against TCU. It was crazy. Bet of the week, under 68.5 on Kansas TCU. Yeah, I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on betting the under in a game like that. That's both teams are probably gonna score. I'm gonna pass on that one. I like Georgia Tech plus the 3, personally. I like Georgia Tech plus the 3. I've been saying 49ers versus Bills Super Bowl. Dude, I love that. The only problem now with Jimmy G, although they've gone to the Super Bowl before with Jimmy G, I don't know, but I love the Bills to the Super Bowl. It has to be the Bills' year. And guys, I was doing NFL picks, but you know what I did for the NFL ones? I did a video on it. It's so hilarious. So I did the NFL picks. What is this? Oh no, those were not good picks. Those were bad picks, but I don't know where it's located. The thing is, I don't. Oh, it's right here. But I said, oh, well, that's not what it is either. This is what it is. I said, oh, these are the model and the model's best bets. So if I get these wrong, I can just blame it on the model. It's the model, whatever. It's hilarious. Exciting weekend of college. It's going to be great, man. This weekend is going to be, we've got that Utah game. We've got the Ohio State, Michigan State matchup. That should be really good. We've got the night games. I don't think are going to be, the night games are a little weak, but we'll see. Kentucky minus 10. I'll pass. Against South Carolina, I'll pass. If not that one, then probably Mississippi State on the money line. If you look at Mississippi State, just matches up against Arkansas very well. I mean, listen, you can do whatever you want. I'll pass. I'm not going to bet on Mississippi State. It's just Mississippi State to me is too inconsistent. But no, I have heard from multiple people. They were like, "Oh, you're wrong," because I said to take Arkansas plus 6.5, and now Arkansas is plus 9. So I probably was wrong. I don't know, dude. If you want to do a money line parlay with Mississippi State, I would say that could be a possible thing there. I think under 4 tomorrow. So under 4 tomorrow in the NFL game, I would not bet that. I think there's been a lot of unders hitting in the NFL, and that's about to change. I think Denver minus the 3 with John. Is that still minus 3? There's no way. That had to have been that had to have moved a point. Possibly. I have to look at that. See what that line is right now. I wonder if it is still minus 3. I would love Denver minus 3, man. Come on. So UCF is now up. UCF's up 17-13 now. 3.5. It moved half a point with Jonathan Taylor being out. It moves half a point. What do you think about Arizona? I remember that Arizona beat Oregon a couple times when Oregon is in here. Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I do troll people. I said that, that Arizona was going to upset Oregon. I'm going to say it again tomorrow probably if I do my upset video. I don't know, man. I mean, listen, the bottom line is we need Oregon to lose so we can stop with this whole Georgia thing. But yeah, should I start Pittman or Godwin? Is Godwin playing? No, well, I don't know. I would still start Michael Pittman. Dude, you know what I have to do? I have to go over my fantasy teams. So this is the fan leagues. I've got to go through this. And you look at this. This team is 2-2 right now. I'm facing Karma's a Mitch Trubisky. I'm facing Mitch Trubisky, and I've got a problem with DeAndre Swift. He's not playing. I'm going to have to pick up a new defense. I've got the Bears right now. Let's go find a defense, shall we? This is, what league is this? 12-team league? Okay. Yeah, I'll be able to find a defense. Normally, when you stream a defense, this is all you have to do. Go to this, go to the ranks, go to the average. Vikings defense against Chicago. Good enough for me. Add them. This is skillful fantasy football right here. I actually have two defenses, so I'll drop the Bears just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we will go ahead and... Oh, they're already into the starting lineup. So I'm probably not going to change anything on this team. Am I going to beat this dude? Oh, it's a blowout. It's a blowout. Oh, I'm not even sure he's active. He's got Javonte Williams starting. Javonte Williams, he tore his entire leg off. Colts are not winning tomorrow. Come on. Yeah, no, I've got Denver, man. I've got Denver. Do you think the winner of Kansas TCU will be in good position to make the Big 12 Conference Championship? No, I do not. I don't think either one of those teams are. The Big 12 is going to eat itself, man. Maybe TCU. Maybe TCU. But I think I'm done editing that team. Now we're going to go to the 6-team league. I am 2-2 in this. I'm facing an Alabama fan. So we'll see if I can knock off the Crimson Tide. And this lineup, I'm probably not going to change anything. I've got Dak Prescott on the IR. Justin Herbert, Derek Carr. Yeah, this is a crazy league. I just threw a bunch of crap together and made it. Oh, Matt Prater is out? Why? What did he sprain? We're going to have to pick someone up. We're going to have to pick up a kicker. We'll do one of these. We'll go to the kicker. We'll go to the ranks. We'll go to the average. Gregory Joseph at home in a dome. I like it. You must drop a player. We'll drop this. We'll drop the tight end. Take a seat. See you later. And now, wait, I should have just dropped Matt Prater. Oh my goodness. Rookie mistakes, unforced errors. They're called unforced errors for a reason. All right, so wait, I thought this is the 20-team league is miserable. The 20-team, don't start Pittman. Surtain will shadow him. He's a beast. I mean, but I don't even know if Chris Godwin is playing. Good receivers on that. Yeah, I mean, it's a 6-team league, so that's why it was loaded. I have Michael Pittman. This is a 20-team league. Dude, DeAndre Swift has to play. This is a freaking 20-team league, and my first-round pick has been out. If he doesn't play, I'm screwed. I don't have any running backs. It's a 20-team league. Oh, my. Nothing like this. I've got to add somebody. I've got to try and find a running back. Let me see if I can find a running back. I doubt I'll be able to find one. In a 20-team league? Gainwell? Latavius Murray. How nice of you. Kenneth Gainwell. What did Kenneth Gainwell... I don't want to do that. I don't want that. What did he do last week? Oh, he had 8.7. That's pretty good production for me. Yeah, that's good production. Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray was signed by Denver. I think Bama will be upset this season. Oh, absolutely. Alabama's losing probably to Tennessee on the road. Look at Godwin's status. I don't know, dude. I saw Godwin. I was like, maybe it was I had a dream or something. I was like, he looked injured to me. I don't know. Maybe I was just... how about Utah? I'm quite impressed about UCLA. I know Utah is a good team, but I still don't feel confident. I would feel pretty confident about Utah going into UCLA and winning that game. It's a parody game, guys. Remember, it's a parody game. You always got to remember that. Mike Boone. That's a running back, correct? Is that who I should pick up? Mike Boone? But no, I don't know. This Huntley kid, I highly doubt he's going to get any carries. I might just have to... Oh, Gainwell's on the waiver wire. I can't even pick him up right now. I can't even frickin' pick him up. Let's go to the ranks and then see what the average is. And yeah, there's nobody here. There's literally no one here. Let's look at the receivers. There's no receivers even ranked. This is the 20-team league. All right, let's go to this is the league I'm 4-0 in. So I need to go try hard in this one. And I'm facing a freaking Oregon fan, Mr. Quack. But should I start Breece Hall or J.K. Dobbins? That's the question for this league. Also, Tyler Algier. No, not against Tampa Bay. Not gonna happen. No, sir. I gotta get a new defense, too. I need a new defense badly. No. Go to this. Jaguars defense versus Houston. Vikings. I think the Vikings, man. I feel like the Vikings are the play here. Versus Chicago. Jaguars versus... I like the Vikings. I like the Vikings. We're going to go ahead and drop Cincinnati. I don't need their defense. You got to stream the defenses. Stream the defenses. And there we go. We have the defense there. Let's take a look at this game. I don't even have a link to the game. Go back to here. I freaking ran out of this. Julio Jones was a free agent. Romeo Doubs was dropped? Why would that happen? Oh, no, he added him. Okay, I was going to say. Oh, my goodness. Mississippi State versus Chicago, yes. Yeah, dude, Chicago's offense. It's so sad what happened to Chicago's offense. It really is. Controversial take. Mississippi State can upset Georgia. Georgia's going to lose to someone. I'm sure. I think Florida's going to beat Georgia. That's not even a hot take. I think that is very likely going to happen. And I want to see the update on this. See they've got it right there. I was going to say they don't even have a tab for it. They're just disrespecting college football. 17-13. SMU with the ball. A rare Wednesday night game. Chicago is so bad, man. I don't even know. I mean, we can look at Georgia's schedule right now. And you can see the issues with their schedule. They're going to lose a game. I agree with you. It's coming. It's not going to be these two games. These are wins. They have to be wins at home. You get a neutral site game against Florida. Anthony Richardson, he can make plays. Let's understand something. He can make plays. Georgia cannot run the football. Look at their highest rusher. 50 yards, 85, 36, 77, 65. They cannot run the football. They can't run. Mississippi State, they'll definitely beat Kentucky. So I think they lose one of these games. One of these two games they'll lose. Maybe Mississippi State, maybe Tennessee. It's 50-50. Yeah. The streaker that got tackled by Bobby Wagner filed a police report against him. Hilarious, man. And then Twitter is so funny. There's so many people that don't understand trolling and stuff. So I saw that tweet and someone, a news outlet tweeted out that the person that ran onto the field, trespassed illegally, filed a report against Bobby Wagner for tackling him, and someone in the comments was like, yeah, like he was supporting the person filing the report. And then there were so many people responding to that person saying, how could you? Bobby Wagner did the right thing. Like, obviously the dude is trolling. How do you not understand? There was literally 20 people tweeting at this dude. The dude obviously, the dude goes onto the field trespassing. You're not going to win in the courts when you trespass. How confident are you about Nebraska beating Rutgers? I'm very confident. I'm very confident in that. I think Rutgers can't throw. Guys, Rutgers just sucks. They're horrible. People are underestimating how bad Rutgers is. I think that's another thing. Michigan is up to minus 22.5. Yeah, Indiana is terrible. Big noon, huh? Big noon football. Oh, you guys want to see the weather game? The weather game of the week. Look at this. Clear, sunny, partly cloudy, clear, partly cloudy, sunny, partly cloudy, partly cloudy, partly cloudy, sunny, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy, some clouds, possible chance at a rain shower in the Ohio game, partly cloudy, some clouds, sunny, partly cloudy. I want to see the Ohio State game. Let's go down to the Ohio State. All right, this is good news for Ohio State. Mostly clear. But there's a thunderstorm here. There it is, the Florida International game. We've got heavy rain expected. Heavy rain, take the under. Take the under. What do you think? Yeah, I need my mod. Fresno State to cover versus Boise. Dude, I cannot get a read on either one of those teams. Is Fresno State getting their quarterback back? That's my question. I need my mod in here, man. Jonathan, I need my mod to get the bots taken care of. I think I can do it maybe if let me see if I can click on one of them. I don't want to mess anything up. What team do you think has the best chance of going 12-0? In terms, I think probably only Ohio State is going 12-0. Normally how it works, about this time every single year, we all think there's going to be multiple teams that go 12-0, and normally only one or two teams. So it's like maybe Ohio State and Alabama, maybe Ohio State and Georgia. That's what I would say. The only game I could think Ohio State could lose is the game at Penn State. That's the one game I think they might have an off chance of losing. It's not the Michigan game. It's not the Michigan game at home. It's the Penn State game on the road. It's going to be a big noon game. That's the expectation. Is Bowling Green good? Unfortunately, no. They're not good. But Bowling Green, they're better than they've been. That's what I'll say about Bowling Green. They're better than they've been in past years. But Buffalo is a team that was competitive with Coastal Carolina. I think Buffalo is going to do very well against Bowling Green this weekend. If you look at the models, the analytics, and things like that. Notre Dame minus 3.5 versus BYU. Everyone thinks BYU is good value, but the line is not moving. The line is not moving at all, which is kind of surprising. I really thought that line would have been a pick'em. I thought it would have moved. It didn't move, at least not right now. Maybe money will go in on BYU. Over/under in this game went up to 36.5. Yeah, I understand. It's a very small margin. That's a crazy low number. 51 if you're 24-point favorites. Would you be surprised if Washington State won against USC? No, I wouldn't, honestly. I believe that game is in the Coliseum, so it's a little bit tougher. But the way USC has been playing, Caleb Williams throws a few interceptions. They don't get good turnover luck. They could lose. I mean, USC, I would look at USC's schedule. USC plays at 7:30, so they play at 4:30 Pacific time. Their schedule, yeah, they're going to lose one of these games. So Washington State at home, at Utah, they're going to be underdogs at Utah. At Arizona, they'll probably win. Versus Cal, versus Colorado, at UCLA, and then versus Notre Dame. They'll lose at least one game. Probably two games, because I think they're definitely losing to Utah. Why isn't Louisiana Tech isn't in your favorite bets? Louisiana Tech, I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. I lose track of the bets sometimes. How do you feel about Texas A&M not living up to expectations and struggling to move the ball on offense? So, guys, this is something that I had said before the season started. Texas A&M is not going to be as good as you think they're going to be. All of their superstars are true freshmen. True freshmen do not make major impacts in college football. It just doesn't happen. And the other thing is, they got to get a quarterback. They do not have a quarterback. Their boosters are going to have to pay to get a quarterback. And they're going to pay a lot of money. A lot of money. Is Washington State better than Oregon State? Washington State, yeah, I would say Washington State is better than Oregon State. But they are similar teams. Could you imagine, with the whole realignment, both of those teams might end up in the Mountain West. That'll be interesting. I think A&M can beat Alabama. I would be very surprised. I would be very surprised. I think A&M needs a quarterback. That's what I think. A&M is running an offense in 2014 and Jimbo doesn't want to change the scheme. Yeah, maybe the A&M boosters are going to have to force Jimbo by going out and getting some offensive guru to run the offense. I mean, the boosters basically run the whole damn team. So that's probably what they're going to do. They're going to have to do something because that offense is prehistoric. Texas A&M. Let's see what Texas A&M finishes at. Texas A&M plays at 8. Let's look at Texas A&M's schedule and see, what can they realistically finish at. Oh, they face UMass. They seriously face UMass. At South Carolina, you got to win that game. Ole Miss at home, that's winnable, but you have a horrible quarterback. Florida at home, that's a toss-up. At Auburn, should be a win. Versus UMass. So they have a rough schedule, man. They're going to lose 2 or 3 more games. They're going to be a 4-loss team, maybe a 5-loss team. Maybe a 5-loss team. I want to see the odds on this game. Holy crap. 98.8. Yeah, UMass is like a top 5 worst team. Western Kentucky or UTSA. I like Western Kentucky to win that game straight up. I like them plus 6.5. I'm a fan of Western Kentucky. But yeah, I'd say plus 6.5. Whether or not they actually win it, I don't know. But every model is saying plus 6.5. What do you think about Air Force? Didn't Air Force have a brutal loss here recently? I really liked Air Force before the season. But they had a brutal loss, I know, recently. But I still like Air Force. Doesn't A&M have a 5-star? Yeah, but he's not. He's like a mid-5. He's not the sure thing. He's not an Arch Manning. He's not a Malachi Nelson. I don't know about him. I really don't. It's Connor Wigman, I think. Something like that. Liberty minus 24 versus UMass, a lock. Yeah, they're on the road, but yes, it's a lock. 100%. That game's got 49-0 written all over it, as far as I'm concerned. I think there's a major overreaction to UMass and how they played against Eastern Michigan. We give UMass credit for that game, and they played well. It's shocking. But that's a situation where I certainly like Liberty in that one. And the under looks just phenomenal in this UCF game. Iowa needs to get an offense. They barely got getting field. Iowa, oh my God, man. I can't do it with Iowa. Iowa faces Ohio State soon, man. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. What are some realistic expectations for Baylor? Will they even make a bowl? They're really underperforming. I mean, I would not say they're underperforming. I would say that, they're in a tough conference right now, and I can look at their schedule. Do they have a bye week? Does Baylor have a bye week this week? I don't remember seeing Baylor in this week's games, personally. So they might actually be on a bye week. So I'm going to have to go back, and I will look at their schedule and see what they can finish at, or what I think they'll finish at. Because they did have this tough loss to Oklahoma State. So they are sitting at 3-2. They are currently unranked. That tough loss to BYU, that's going to sting. West Virginia, that's a win. I think they beat Kansas at home. I think they can beat Texas Tech. Oklahoma's a toss-up. They have a manageable schedule. Baylor has a very manageable schedule. They get Kansas State at home. They get TCU at home. They get Kansas at home. They go to West Virginia. That's winnable. They go to Texas Tech. That's winnable. Oklahoma, who knows what Oklahoma's going to be. That's just so far away. November 5th. And then at Texas, that's going to be tough. On the Friday game, that's going to be tough. But I think Baylor's schedule is manageable to where they can get ranked after beating Kansas. And I think they will certainly beat Kansas. And they will certainly be favorites in that game. Probably double-digit favorites. Even though Kansas is undefeated right now. Baylor has a bye. Yep. I heard you said that you don't think Iowa State will not lose 3 in a row when they play Kansas State. Kansas State looked too good. Kansas State looked too much for anyone the last 2 weeks. Was it a fluke or real tempo of Kansas State? I just think it's a situation where I think Matt Campbell is a good enough coach. I don't trust it, but I have a feeling that Matt Campbell will not lose 3 games in a row, and they're 2-point underdogs at home. It's a situation where there's so much parity in the Big 12. I think, I believe I have that game at 20-18. It's a very low scoring game. Very low scoring game. But I do have Kansas State losing. We have to remember with Kansas State, they lost to Tulane. So this is an offense, as good as it's been, as good as they looked against Oklahoma, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. What do you think of Tulsa covering 4 over Navy? I'm not touching it. How you think USC and UCLA will help the Big Ten East dominance in the Big? Yeah. As for the Big Ten East versus the Big Ten West, they're gonna dissolve the conferences when USC and UCLA join. They're not gonna have conferences. They're gonna go probably by pods. And, USC and UCLA, a lot of people pointed it out, they are both undefeated. And obviously we know about those 2 teams joining, the Big Ten after next year. So it's going to make the Big Ten stronger. The realignment stuff, it's still evolving. I really can't speak on it fully because I think there's more teams coming to the Big Ten. Tulane might be the second best team in the ACC. I don't know. We can look that up right now. We can see how good Tulane is right now if you really want to see that. We will go to that. We're going to do that right now. We go to the AAC, the American Conference. Well, it's got them at number 4 right now. UCF and SMU. I think Tulane, they're a solid team this year. Certainly, they're a solid team. What will be your biggest lock for this week? I would say the Georgia State, Georgia Southern under 66 or 68, whatever it is. I would say the Ohio minus 11 at home game. I would say, I don't know, guys. I have to look at them right now. I've got them all here. They're... So, yeah, this Georgia Southern game is really good. Buffalo is favorites now, so they're not. Ohio minus 11, I would say. Liberty minus whatever. I think they're minus 24 now. Looking at these games, Arizona State plus 14 is phenomenal value. Ohio State, whatever you get Ohio State at. I've got Ohio State. I think it could be like 50-10 or something like that. It's going to get real bad. And it's just simply Vegas can't make the number big enough. Like Michigan State is not good at offense. They're not good at defense. They're not a good football team. They're simply one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. Ohio State is a passing team. Obviously, they can also run, but against a horrible secondary. We saw what happened last year. Guys, I can look it up. I mean, it was so bad. If you look at freaking Ohio State, MSU, 2021. The thing is, this keyboard, I'm trying to battle my microphone. I mean, this is just ridiculous. You look at what Ohio State did. They scored, I believe, 49 points in the first half. I know this isn't the same team. This game's on the road, but this is just unbelievable. It is a total annihilation. Are you still going with Georgia Tech over Duke? Absolutely. I've got Georgia Tech winning that game outright. Georgia Tech plus the 3 at home against a Duke team who I just don't trust them. I really don't trust them. Dude, CJ Stroud in this game, how is this even possible? Bro. Oh my God. You couldn't do that in Madden. You could not do that in Madden. This is what's going to happen. This is going to be a similar result. Even if JSN doesn't play. It's a similar... Man, look at Olave, Wilson, JSN. Holy crap. Look at the FPI. Oh, my God. But, yeah, it's just a horrible matchup for Michigan State. It's a horrible matchup. Ugh. And then you know with this thing you can interact with this and you can say, oh, what if Alabama loses? They still have a 33% chance to make the playoffs. Great. Can't believe Michigan State paid Mel Tucker $90 million to flop year after. Yeah, that was a really early contract, man. You gave him a lot of money after one good season. That is really early. That's desperation, in my opinion. That is, come on, man. You're giving him $90 million after one. I mean, it's a good season, no doubt. A 10-year contract is crazy after one season. As of right now, what are your 4 teams that you think will make the college football playoff? So, I think what we're going to have to look at here is Ohio State is one of the teams. Alabama is another team. I think Utah ends up making it. If Georgia loses a regular season game and then they lose to Alabama, they would have 2 losses. Utah wins out. They would make it. So it would be Ohio State, Alabama, Utah. And then I would probably go. It's just so hard to pick against Clemson because the ACC is just weak. And I looked up Clemson's schedule yesterday. And there's just nobody there. I mean, we thought Miami was going to be the team that was going to challenge Clemson. So, I mean, you can look up Clemson's schedule, and it's just... The ACC right now is a brutal conference, man. I didn't realize how bad maybe they lose to Notre Dame, but even if they lost to Notre Dame, I mean, maybe they lose to FSU. But if they get by FSU, man, they're going to beat Syracuse at home, you would think. Louisville at home, Miami at home, South Carolina at home. They're going to beat Boston College. It's very hard to find losses. So that is a 7:30 ABC game. Wow. So that's the 7th. So the FSU is going to get a big game next weekend, 7:30 ABC. They will probably be, let me see the FPI. They'll probably be around 6.7 point underdogs in that game. FSU will be, depending on what happens this week. And it happens again. Oh, UCF is up 24-13 now. UCF is starting to pull away. Isn't this kid from Ole Miss? Is that where this kid is from? He was like a running back. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. He played as a true freshman, yes. They used him as like a scat back. But he runs the ball, man. I mean, he's got 10 carries. But this would be a big win for UCF, man. UCF is looking... They've got that huge matchup at home with Cincinnati coming up. As favorite Halloween candy, you know, I love candy corn, man. You know, I understand why people don't like it, but you got to eat it. It's a festive thing. I was thinking about candy corn. Like, it is truly something you can only eat in October. Like, nobody asks you, hey, do you want candy corn on the 4th of July? Nobody's going to say that. But It's definitely just a seasonal thing. It's a seasonal thing. I think, man, Temple is so bad. I wonder how big of favorites they're going to be over Temple. Oh, my God. Temple is just horrific. Is Temple going to win? How does Temple have 2 wins? Who did they beat? UMass and Lafayette. That's who they beat. They're gonna lose out. Maybe they'll beat maybe they'll beat South Florida. Maybe. I had Temple minus 17 versus UMass, or was it like minus 10? And they performed. Candy corn is okay when it's dried up. I don't know what that means when it's dried up. No, I mean it is definitely. I know a lot of people. I always thought when I was younger that everyone loved it, but you look on Twitter and you'll get bullied for liking it. I mean, there are people that completely hate it. It is pretty crazy. But I guess everyone, whatever. People are not going to like it. It is what it is. I hate how it glitches like this. You see, it's just completely glitched. Man, UCF has the ball again and they're driving. SMU has more yards? Oh, SMU. The turnovers, man. You will lose games. You're going to lose so many games with turnovers. You're outgaining them. You're going to lose so many games with turnovers. The NFL game. This is tomorrow. So there it is. Prime Video. Amazon Prime. Whoop-de-doo. Will the Dolphins beat the Jets this week? Flip a fucking coin. I have no clue, man. I mean, you're talking about Teddy Bridgewater versus Zach Wilson. Zachary Wilson. Who knows, man? But I do have the Dolphins winning that game. When you look at my picks, I have the Dolphins winning. But I like the Broncos, man. I like the Broncos. Jonathan Taylor's going to be out. Although Javonte Williams is also out as well. So we'll see. I like the Packers. I actually did do an NFL thing, I think. A pick'em or whatever. Through the 538 thing. I'm not going to go to that. But I did do that. You can do it on 538. It is interesting how they do it. 538 NFL. Oh, they've got Buffalo as the best team. Can you outsmart our forecasts? Okay, I'll do this right now. Colts, Broncos. I'm going to go Broncos 80% chance. Broncos 80% chance. Packers 100% chance over the Giants. Daniel Jones probably out. Buccaneers 100% chance over the Falcons. Vikings 100% chance over the Bears. Patriots 61% chance over the Lions. Jaguars, I'll go 60% chance over Houston. Browns, I'll go 54% chance over Chargers. We will go Dolphins, 61% chance over the Jets. I will go Bills, 100% chance over the Steelers. I will go Saints, 66. That's a parody game. Saints beat the Seahawks, 78% chance. Washington upsets the Titans. The Titans are frauds. And then I will go with the 49ers. I'll agree and say 70% chance. Rams, 100% chance over the Cowboys. Eagles, I'll say 58% chance. Ravens, I'll say 75% chance. And then I'll say Kansas City, 79% chance on that one. Is BYU covering the spread? I don't think so. I know a lot of people like the value of BYU, whatever, plus the 3.5. But I think we have to remember, Notre Dame is coming off a bye. They've prepared for this game. They're ready. I like Notre Dame to win this game. I like Notre Dame to cover the 3.5, as shocking as that sounds. What do you mean by parody game? What should we think when you say that? So what that means, when you have a team, let's just say, for example, a team that's 2-1 is facing a team that's 1-2, but we both kind of know the team that's 2-1 is a little bit worse than their rating, and a team that's 1-2 is a little bit better. So, for example, you take a look at here's a good example: the Cowboys-Rams. The Rams are 2-2. The Cowboys are 3-1 with Cooper Rush. Do we really think that the Cowboys are going to go to 4-1 while the Rams fall to 2-3 at home? Come on, folks. That's a parody game. And then another one, Washington versus the Titans. The Titans should have lost last week. They got lucky turnover, crap. Washington, they're coming off back-to-back losses. The Titans are due for a loss. Washington is due for a win. That's how you have to read the NFL. It's week to week. We can't just sit here and say, oh, Carson Wentz sucked yet last week, so he's going to suck this week. That's not how it works. Quarterbacks are so inconsistent in the NFL. You have to think like it's if they're bad one week, they're probably going to be good the next week. And if they're bad 2 weeks in a row, they're probably going to be good the week after that. It's a parody to it, These are all professional athletes. There's such a razor-thin margin. You have to. That's how I think personally. CJ Stroud or Bryce Young with the number 1 overall pick. I think CJ is going to go number 1. I'm already seeing the trolls. You see the dumbass people on Twitter. No Ohio State quarterback has succeeded in the NFL. What does that matter? Like, I just don't. You have to. CJ Stroud is his own. I think CJ Stroud should be. I would pick CJ Stroud over Bryce Young because he's got a stronger arm. He's bigger. He's more durable. Although, let's be honest, CJ Stroud is not, he doesn't like taking hits, but still, I would pick CJ Stroud. But Bryce Young has the Heisman. I'm sure they're going to go 1-2 or 1-3, depending on, who's picking there. Oh. Man, Alabama got 2. Guys, you look at the recruiting rankings, it's not looking good again. The recruiting rankings. Alabama, 23 commits, 5 5-stars, an average score. Let me zoom this in. An average score of 94. Whoop-de-doo. Georgia is second. Notre Dame, Ohio State. It's just Alabama is so... I just can't deal with it, man. I just can't do it. It's unbelievable. It's every year with them. Every year Alabama is the best. But look at it. Look at this. This is funny. Go to the 2024 class. Oh, I'm not going to do that, man. I'm not doing that. You got to stop with that. See, this is what it does. You have to keep doing this. Reload. I'm not doing that. I'm not disabling it. Ohio State average score 100. 1,000 is the average score. They have 1 commit. It's a 5-star quarterback. It's pretty funny. All right, we'll look at. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at this game one last time. I'm gonna do one last look, and then I'm gonna call it. I get really tired really quickly after these, just from talking. So SMU has the ball at their own 4-yard line, and maybe they can come back with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We'll have to see. Tanner Mordecai, 264 and 1 interception. Ooh, a receiver with 5 for 128. And then there's no games tomorrow. There are no college football games tomorrow. When teams come off bye weeks, how would we know if they're able to overcome an average to above average team like Miami versus North Carolina or Notre Dame versus BYU? I think you definitely have to give a slight advantage to a team coming off a bye week. A slight advantage. The mods are sleepy. Dude, I think we need to get one more mod. We need to find someone who's in the streams a lot that can, because if you're not there, man, I'm going to get attacked by bots. And you see these bots, they come in and I can't police it as I'm trying to talk and things like that. So I don't know if we're going to have to try and find someone else, to where I can have 2 moderators, because the problem is if I'm streaming and my mod isn't there, it is going to be, I'm going to get, and look at that, a safety. We got a live safety. 26-13. So isn't that just great? The under looks phenomenal in this game. 26-13 with UCF probably milking the clock out, getting the ball back. Alabama needs a new OC. Bill O'Brien calls good against horrible teams, but struggles against decent good. Yeah, maybe it is a scheming issue. I don't know. Normally, it's not a coaching problem with Alabama, but this year has been weird because this year Alabama's receivers can't get open. And obviously, Nick Saban got 2 guys from the transfer portal that he handpicked, so maybe it is a scheming issue. Do you think the Colts have a chance to win against the Broncos? No, I think the Broncos are winning that game, personally. The Colts ruled out Jonathan Taylor. So I would say that I have Denver. I think Russell Wilson has a good game. I think Jerry Jeudy has a really good game. I know Javonte Williams is out, but they do have, Melvin Gordon is good enough. South Carolina versus Kentucky. South Carolina with points. I don't know, man. I would say that listen, I picked South Carolina to win that game to troll Kentucky fans and SEC fans and whatever. And sometimes people get angry, but I don't know. I just don't think Kentucky is that good. Is South Carolina good? No, but South Carolina, at least with Spencer Rattler, has the potential to put up some points. And Kentucky's offense has just been so bad, in my opinion. So that's all that I would say about that game. But guys, I think that is. Do you think Ohio State has a shot of winning it all, especially since? Yeah, dude, Ohio State. This is it. I mean, the minimum expectation is the playoffs. That is minimum, but. You have to at least do something this year. Obviously, if they lose to Michigan, that is an epic failure. At home, back-to-back seasons. I think the minimum requirement is to make the playoffs. When you look at everyone returning, you look at the defense, you look at the money that was spent on Jim Knowles, you just have to make the playoffs. That's minimum. And I think even if they made the playoffs and lost to Georgia or Alabama, I think people would be disappointed. People want a national title. Ohio State has not won a national title since 2014, and you think, well, there's teams that have gone a lot longer than that. We understand that, but Clemson's won 2. Alabama's won like 4. Georgia's won a title. So, it's almost like if it's not this year for Ohio State, next year, you're breaking in a new quarterback. Probably Devin Brown. Because I think he's going to beat McCord. I think McCord's arm strength is not good. Whenever I see Kyle McCord throw the football, I'm like, what is going on? It's like a peewee kid. I don't know. That's just what I see. I guess we'll see. But it's a situation where Ohio State, it's got to be now or never, man. At this point, next year they're going to take a step back. Next year, they've got the road game. They're going to be going to Michigan. They're going to be going to Notre Dame. It's going to be a lot tougher of a schedule. I don't think the schedule is set. I don't think the schedule is set for Ohio State in 2023. I know they, so it's not because, I would imagine, so USC and UCLA are not joining until 2024, but the schedule is still not set. So they do face an FCS team, Youngstown State, Western Kentucky. Wow. Western Kentucky's not bad. And then at Notre Dame, that's week 3. So they open with Youngstown State. That'll probably be a noon game on Big Ten Network. The Western Kentucky game will probably be FS1 maybe. Western Kentucky's not bad. That'll be an interesting non-conference game. And then the Notre Dame game, that will be on NBC and Peacock. Because NBC gets Notre Dame's rights to all their home games. What's your prediction for TCU, Kansas? I think TCU wins by 3 points, but I don't have a great feel on it. Do you think McCord will transfer? Yes, he will transfer. My prediction is Devin Brown will beat McCord, and McCord will transfer next offseason. And Devin Brown will be the starting quarterback next year, and they will have to find someone in the transfer portal to be Devin Brown's backup, because obviously CJ Stroud is going to be gone. Raiola doesn't come until 2024. He's not reclassifying. That is off the table. That's not happening. and you will see that that's how I see that situation playing out. But that is going to do it for this stream, I think, guys. Just take one last look at this. We'll get an update on this. Dude, I'm freaking... And the update is there is no update. There is no update on this game. Oh, we've got a little highlight over here, but it's being hidden. At least I think it's being hidden.